Montalvo Broadcasting Network. Support MBN, Montalvo Broadcasting Network, and shop with us over at Montalvo Store. Go to ebay.com and search in the advanced search. Type in Montalvo Store. Now support Montalvo Broadcasting Network. We have a wide array of books on conspiracy, apparel, and much more. Support your favorite radio station, Montalvo Broadcasting Network, by visiting Montalvo Store on ebay.com.
Tribal, primitive, rustic, Burning Man, punk rock, conceptual subculture for the edgiest, most cutting-edge designs of jewelry today. Go to etsy.com/shop/conceptual subculture, or one word, either by going to Google or search Etsy, ETSY.com, and type in one word, conceptual subculture. You will find the hottest designs using natural stones with wire wrap rings, rough, raw, genuine, semi-precious gemstone jewelry, solid sterling silver, copper, leather, orgonite, bracelets, pendants, chokers, men's copper cups with sterling accents, eco-friendly, repurposed, original, one-of-a-kind design earrings. Support MBN by going to Conceptual Subculture on Etsy. Go to Antique Obsessions for the hottest in jewelry, antiques, repurposed, solid sterling silver, one-of-a-kind, handmade by Bruce and Jaja. Go to our Facebook, which is Antique Obsessions, or you can go to Etsy.com and go to Antique Obsessions, one word, or type it into your Google and find us there.
The stylish and hippest clothing around. Go to Poshmark.com. Poshmark.com at Anti-Culture. At Anti-Culture. The coolest, hippest apparel on the internet. Poshmark.com at Anti-Culture.
Hi, this is Jaja. Come shop with us at Poshmark.com/closet/anticulture. Sign up for Poshmark using our code ANTICULTURE. That way you can have $5 in your pocket when you join up and you can buy something from our store. We have mad stuff like upcycle things, Armani, Hurley, O'Neill. We upcycling all kinds of things like LL Bean. And plus we got our tie-dyes and just mad stuff. Just come check us out. Also, you can sell your own stuff too using the Poshmark app. But sign in first using our code ANTICULTURE. And you can find us at Poshmark.com/closet/anticulture. Or when you're up in there, just at Anticulture us. And you can look under the people. Check you out. Peace.
This is a Fox News alert. It's not quite over. I'm Lisa Lacera. The Senate just adjourned after a short session after a vote along party lines on new information in the impeachment trial of President Trump. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Lisa, Democrats have spent time pushing motions on the Senate floor after a vote for additional witnesses and documents failed. Democratic Senator Bob Casey told Fox News he's disappointed.
You'd want to make sure that you have every possible piece of evidence, or at least reasonably possible piece of evidence on the record.
Republican Senator Mike Lee pointed the finger at House Democrats.
They had a chance to do more. They didn't. They had to rush through.
A final vote on a verdict not expected until Wednesday, allowing senators who have been under a rule of silence to give speeches on the floor. Lisa?
Rachel, White House Deputy Press Secretary Hogan Gidley says Democrats had their chance to call witnesses.
We're not going to have witnesses in the Senate because this is supposed to be done in the House, and it was. Now, they don't like the way they did it. They have no one to blame but themselves.
On Fox's The Story with Martha McCallum, the U.S. taking additional steps to protect against the coronavirus, which now has claimed nearly 260 lives in China.
Any U.S. citizen returning to the United States who has been in Hubei province in the previous 14 days will be subject to up to 14 days of mandatory quarantine.
Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar. Beginning Sunday, the U.S. will also begin funneling all flights to the U.S. from China to 7 major airports where passengers can be screened for the illness. There are 7 confirmed cases of coronavirus in the U.S. Police in Florida opened fire on a driver who smashed through 2 security checkpoints at the president's Mar-a-Lago residence this morning in what they described as an obviously impaired driver. The president was not there at the time. America's listening to Fox News.
If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. Most companies don't have a clear picture of their business, and that's why many struggle to grow. Can you afford that new hire, invest in new software, or launch a new campaign? How is revenue pacing against your expenses? NetSuite by Oracle is here to solve that problem. As a business owner, are you confident that you've got the right numbers? Are you really confident you're making the right business decisions? Serious entrepreneurs and finance teams run on NetSuite, the world's #1 cloud business system. NetSuite offers a full picture of your business, everything in one place. Finance, inventory, HR, customers, and more. No more guessing. No more worrying. Run your business with confidence. Grow successfully on NetSuite like Ring, Hint, Boll & Branch, and over 19,000 other businesses. NetSuite. Business grows here. Schedule your free product tour right now and receive their free guide, 7 key strategies to grow your profits at netsuite.com/Fox. Set up your free product tour and get your free guide today at netsuite.com/Fox.
The Trump administration with an announcement on immigration policy.
In an expansion of the administration's immigration policy, citizens from Nigeria, Eritrea, Myanmar, and Kyrgyzstan won't be allowed to apply for visas to immigrate to the U.S. 2 other countries, Sudan and Tanzania, will be barred from participating in the diversity visa lottery. The moves are designed to tighten security for countries that don't comply with the U.S. minimum security standards or cooperate to prevent illegal immigration. The new restrictions are set to take effect on February 21st. At the White House, John Decker, Fox News.
Democratic National Committee has dropped grassroots fundraising qualifications for the party's February 19th debate before the Nevada caucuses, opening the possibility that Michael Bloomberg could make his first appearance on stage. The former New York City mayor hasn't yet hit the polling requirements. He's skipping the early voting states in favor of the Super Tuesday states that provide a larger share of delegates. It took almost 4 years. The UK now out of the EU.
It's finally happened. Britain has formally exited the European Union, or Brexit. The big raucous crowd filled a square in front of Big Ben in Parliament. They counted down the break at 11 p.m. here local time, or midnight Brussels time. The departure was agreed to in a referendum 3.5 years ago. They've been haggling over it ever since. In a TV address tonight, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson called for unity. But not everybody is happy about this. There were other anti-Brexit gatherings across the country. Critics fear, rather than independence, the move could hurt the economy and do real damage to the UK itself. In London, Greg Palcott, Fox News.
The lakefront property in Tennessee, where Johnny and June Carter Cash lived for more than 30 years, has sold for $3.2 million. The 4.5-acre property in Hendersonville was purchased earlier this month by a local couple. I'm Lee Silasera. This is Fox News.
Bruce Montalvo.
Continues to spread conspiracy theories.
Penchant for promoting bogus conspiracies as though they were fact.
Bruce Montalvo.
Conspiracy theory.
This is CNN, a network of printed broadcasting systems.
Bruce Montalvo is the only radio talk show host that's not controlled.
If I was a window washer, an architect, a security guard, or a farmer, instead of a famous basketball player, would you care what I drink? Would Sprite not taste the same? Would I be doing this commercial? What do you think?
China's northern neighbour, Mongolia, has closed its border with the country to cars and pedestrians in a bid to contain the coronavirus.
The NBA and the game of basketball will truly miss you, and I personally will truly miss you.
And an 81-point game.
Growing up watching you as a little kid.
Slam dunk, Kobe Bryant!
Huge fan of yours. Growing up being my idol.
It's been motivation to kids like me everywhere.
Nobody in the NBA has made an impact on this earth and outside of this universe like you have.
Out to Kobe.
These 20 years of watching you has been a blast.
So it's crazy being able to be here a part of your last season. It's been an honor playing with you, Kobe.
I appreciate everything that you've done for us.
It's been a complete honor sharing the court with you and being able to call you my teammate. Sad to see you go, OG. Game gonna miss you.
Just want to say thank you, man.
Thanks, Kobe. Thank you.
Thank you for everything you did.
And we really appreciate everything that you've done for the game.
Whatever it is that you choose to do after this, I know you're going to be another black mama at that as well.
And now, celebrating their 56th year in Southern California, 68th year in the NBA, the franchise with 16 NBA titles, the most wins in NBA history. The home team, your Los Angeles Lakers.
Stay with us. We're going to athlete, the kind of star that was perfectly cast on the Los Angeles Lakers. Can you stay with us? We're going to athlete, the kind of star that was perfectly cast on the Los Angeles Lakers.
Oh, shit! It's Kobe Bryant!
Help me.
Just pass me the trophies and we'll pull you out.
Pass.
These were Shaq's.
You're listening to the Bruce Montalvo Show.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Bruce Montalvo Show, broadcasting live January 31st, 2020, and they found Kobe Bryant's body. That's right, they found Kobe Bryant's body faster than Epstein's body, who nobody knows where it is, because that wasn't really Epstein, because that was like some hobo that they found and whacked instead of Epstein, right? You're listening to the Bruce Montalvo Show, broadcasting live on Spreaker.com. Join us in the chat room, Spreaker.com/the Bruce Montalvo Show. You can listen in live, Spreaker.com/live, also on TalkStream Live. And don't be a puss and call me, call Montalvo at 480-382-8451. That's right, call Montalvo, 480-382-8451. And we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Let's see, coronavirus. I called it on this show last week. You had Ruckus, former talk show host on the same radio show we were on. He called in and told me about the coronavirus. And I told him, yeah, it sounds like something out of Resident Evil. And guess what? It's right out of Resident Evil. All the memes are now saying so as soon as Montalvo said it. Okay, because, look, I call it like it is. I can smell it. I can smell the evil. And this is right out of Resident Evil. It says here, the gamers find connection between Resident Evil and coronavirus. And, could you believe how stupid the news thinks you are, that they go out of the way to tell you that Corona beer has nothing to do with coronavirus. Yes, we know it's a meme, you stupid assholes. Back to Resident Evil. Resident Evil plot generally revolving around viral outbreaks. Biological research lab in Wuhan, China has the same logo as the corporation known as the Umbrella Corporation in Resident Evil. And in Resident Evil, Umbrella is in the pharmaceutical business, just like the Wuhan, China corporation that's connected to the coronavirus. Oh my God, the coronavirus outbreak. And, they're saying, oh, every American's going to be tested out. They just brought in 200 Americans into California, Southern California. 200 Americans that have contracted this zombie coronavirus, they're saying, is out there now. There's over 800,000 or 8,000 that have contracted the disease in China. And these people are sick in China. They're literally throwing their cats out of the window because they think that the cat is contaminated. You say, I like Wuhan bat and Szechuan bat and Szechuan cat, and it has coronavirus. They eat fucking bat soup and all sorts of things, these Chinese. But yeah, you're seeing all these predictive programming, revelation of the method, all these connections with things like video games and cartoons. Resident Evil calling the coronavirus, and going back to Kobe Bryant, the cartoon from Comedy Central predicted he would explode in his chopper. But in reality, that dude probably absconded to some flat Earth island. The NBA dudes are always talking about flat Earth now. So don't act like they're stupid. Anyway, I'm being called out on the internet. There's some troll who say, oh, you're not a real conspiracy theorist. You're just playing house as a conspiracy theorist. You gotta be one sorry sack of retard. So go ride the short bus, okay? I'm not the bus driver on the short bus for you, right? So I sent them packing. You're just a troll on the Facebook page where... telling me that I'm not a real conspiracy theorist because I believe Kobe didn't die. I believe Kobe was reassigned like Jimi Hendrix or Bill Hicks. Those dudes, they just got reassigned. I'm not saying that people don't die. No, people fall off of motorcycles and people just spontaneously combust and then start eating human flesh. That happens. Right? That happens in today's world. We're one step closer to eating each other. You got crazy crazy chinks throwing their cats out the window. Usually they're putting them in a pot and cooking them. Now the motherfuckers are just throwing them out. Like they're really crazy. Is it a psyop? Mostly everything is. Anyway, this person was calling me out because I said Kobe left to some flat Earth island and said, "Oh, Kobe died. Kobe was killed by the pharmaceutical company." Who killed Kobe Bryant? Shaq? Did Shaq do it? Did Big Pharma do it? Apparently they got mad at me because they're saying, well, Kobe Bryant's name, Black Mamba, was in a legal battle with Big Pharma, and if you come across Big Pharma, they'll fucking kill you. And why don't you understand that? Because dudes like Kobe Bryant don't just come on, man. You got all the money in the world, the tattoo with the crown, and now he's in the news as this crown virus. It was probably the Queen of England wants everybody poisoned and to bow. Because it's the crown virus. Look, crown. You know who else wears the symbol of the crown? Jesuits. Jesuites, as some Italians say. They put it, there's a big accent. The Jesuites. The Jesuites. Well, yeah, the fucking Jesuites that like to fucking diddle fucking little boys and shit. These sick bastards that should be taken out in the back of an alley and beaten to death. I was telling you, if I knew a Jesuite that freaking raped a little kid and shit, I had like 5 minutes alone with that son of a bitch, I'd break his fucking nose. I would. Oh, you know it. I'm not some keyboard tough guy. Come try me in real life. I'll break your fucking nose. Nah, I like people though. Generally, unless you got that face that I want to break your nose kind of face. But Jesuits usually have that kind of face. I see a Jesuit and I say, you got the face of someone whose nose I'd like to break. Okay? Because symbols rule the world. And usually it's Jesuits that are behind all this shit. You know what I'm saying? With the murders and throwing people in holes and just shooting them and, you know, all sorts of things. The Jesuits are behind it. And the symbols are behind it. Coronavirus? Do you know the symbol of the Vatican Knights Templar has a big freaking corona on it and then the cross? Corona meaning Cronus or Cronus, you know, the deity. Basically Saturn, which is what they worship. So symbols rule the world, and I'm telling you, Bill Gates is behind it. They got Bill Gates behind. I don't know if it's real or not now, because it's getting fucking creepy. Anybody that played Resident Evil, look, I've been playing Resident Evil since I was a kid. The first one, very first one, where that zombie's just laying on the floor, the zombie, and then you're walking in that big mansion with the dogs outside and the big plant and then a giant spider, whatever, that Resident Evil. This is just crazy. You have this psychopathic maniac, Bill Gates, behind this. Bill Gates behind this, as we were told last week. Bill and Melinda Gates gave out the coronavirus toys at an event titled Event 201 back in October. CAPS, as they called it, CAPS, capital. CAPS stands for Coronavirus Acute Pulmonary Syndrome. I like to hear any doctor that's not a quack really think if that is a real disease, really, because it sounds like complete and total bullshit. That was the name of the virus in the Event 201 exercise, John Hopkins, last October. So that piece of crap, Bill Gates, that should have really been shot, like in the freaking South Park movie. Remember how the general just says, "Bring Bill Gates in here. You told us Windows 98 would be faster and more efficient." It is faster. Over 9,000. Boom! And they just blow him away. That's what a guy like Bill Gates deserves in real life, not in a cartoon. But it seems everything's a cartoon. Like Kobe Bryant's death is right out of a fucking cartoon. Literally. A Comedy Central cartoon. And speaking of cartoons, Event 201. Well, that sounds a little weird. 201. It sounds like a date. That sounds about right for the Super Bowl, right? Miami. Anyway, the Simpsons, they did it again. The Simpsons are predicting that this has got Chiefs fans all pissed. The Simpsons apparently did an episode that was titled Sunday Cruddy Sunday. Back in 99, they have like the Niners like celebrating in Miami. So they even called, the Simpsons are crazy. They've predicted already 3 Super Bowls, and you know the creator of the Simpsons said that he pretty much is a member of the Illuminati, and that he's a time traveling interdimensional psychic vampire. So he's admitted that, the guy from The Simpsons. So that's right. The call lines are open, 480-382-8451, 480-382-8451. You'll listen to the Bruce Montalvo Show. Support Montalvo Broadcasting Network and all the Montalvo brands by going to our store on Poshmark. Yeah, that's like the hippest thing. You want to be there. Poshmark.com/closet/anti-culture. Poshmark.com/closet/anti-culture. Anti-culture. Where I'm selling all sorts of stuff. That's another thing. You know, Nike probably killed off Kobe, right? They killed off Kobe because they want to make more money with like LeBron or whatever, or they wanted to sell all Kobe stuff. Right now, Kobe stuff is just flying all off the shelves. I must have sold like 2 Kobe things just today. The other day, all sorts of Kobe things sold. You know, just things that were right there in the attic. As soon as he died, I saw his stock just go all the way up. That's a trait right out of like the faking your death, expensive artiste. Oh, now my works are much more expensive. I fake my death. They got reassigned, okay? You saw fucking Bill Hicks is Alex Jones, Jimi Hendrix is fucking Morgan Freeman. Who knows what Kobe Bryant's gonna be now, okay? He's playing basketball in Mars. He's part of the Space Force. So he's over there with Captain fucking Patrick or whatever his name is from Star Trek. Alright? And meanwhile, here on Earth, you have the incredible Trump taking a dump on everybody, saying to the old people, Trump saying, oh, well, I'm going to cancel Meals on Wheels. Look, I eat on a gold table, I shit in a gold toilet, and I wipe my ass with people like you, and you're a freeloader, okay? You're a loser, and you're old. So what's this Meals on Wheels? I'm going to take it away. He took Meals on Wheels away from the old farts. You believe that? You believe that? He freaking took Meals on Wheels away, and he's turning into the incredible freaking Trump. You know what I'm saying? He's like orange and shit instead of being green. Like, the incredible Trump. How many times you flush the toilet? I'm going to regulate how many times you flush the toilet. And then Fox News is like, oh my God, we can't wait till we have martial law here in America, just like they have in China. Can we please bring like 200 infected like Americans? You see? Into the fucking country. And right in my backyard, look, I used to drink beer where they landed. I used to drink beer, have a little trailer, and just kick it and like, freaking shoot shotgun skeet or whatever, like whatever. They'd like land right there, and it's like now all the zombies are gonna be there. So if I would have still been living there, it'd be like the zombie apocalypse. I'd be like sleeping there. And then boom, they'd be like, you know what I'm saying? That's when times were tough. Times were rough. Now I'm a big businessman. You want to shop with me over at Poshmark.com/closet/ the Bruce Montalvo Show. Now we're going to come right back and talk more about the coronavirus. You want to call in and talk about it, you call in. And all the Chinamen are outraged. They say, why? Me no disease. Me human being. Me no yellow fever. They're freaking outraged. No, the Simpsons got them coughing in boxes too. Okay? Anyway, we'll be right back. The Simpsons predicted the freaking coronavirus. Same way, even Kobe's death.
Support MBN, Montalvo Broadcasting Network, and shop with us over at Montalvo Store. Go to ebay.com and search in the advanced search. Type in Montalvo Store. Now support Montalvo Broadcasting Network. We have a wide array of books on conspiracy, apparel, and much more. Support your favorite radio station, Montalvo Broadcasting Network, by visiting Montalvo Store on ebay.com.
Tribal, primitive, rustic, Burning Man, punk rock, conceptual subculture for the edgiest, most cutting-edge designs of jewelry today. Go to etsy.com/shop/conceptual subculture, or one word, either by going to Google or search Etsy, ETSY.com, and type in one word, conceptual subculture. You will find the hottest designs using natural stones with wire wrap rings, rough, raw, genuine, semi-precious gemstone jewelry, solid sterling silver, copper, leather, orgonite, bracelets, pendants, chokers, men's copper cups with sterling accents, eco-friendly, repurposed, original, one-of-a-kind design earrings. Support MBN by going to Conceptual Subculture on Etsy. Go to Antique Obsessions for the hottest in jewelry, antiques, repurposed, solid sterling silver, one-of-a-kind, handmade by Bruce and Jaja. Go to our Facebook, which is Antique Obsessions, Or you can go to Etsy.com and go to Antique Obsessions, one word, or type it into your Google and find us there.
The stylish and hippest clothing around. Go to Poshmark.com. Poshmark.com at Anti-Culture. At Anti-Culture. The coolest, hippest apparel on the internet. Poshmark.com at Anti-Culture.
Hi, this is Jaja. Come shop with us at Poshmark.com/closet/anticulture. Sign up for Poshmark using our code ANTICULTURE. That way you can have $5 in your pocket when you join up and you can buy something from our store. We have mad stuff like upcycle things, Armani, Hurley, O'Neill. We upcycling all kinds of things like LL Bean. And plus we got our tie-dyes and just mad stuff. Just come check us out. Also, you can sell your own stuff too using the Poshmark app. But sign in first using our code ANTICULTURE. And you can find us at Poshmark.com/closet/anticulture. Or when you're up in there, just at Anticulture us. And you can look under the people. Check you out. Peace.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. The Senate has rejected the summoning of witnesses in President Donald Trump's impeachment trial. Bernie Bennett has more from Capitol Hill.
The yeas are 49, the nays are 51. The motion is not agreed to.
Chief Justice John Roberts reading the vote tally on the floor of the Senate. That vote all but ensures President Trump's eventual acquittal as the historic proceedings begin to come to a close. Senators appear ready to push off a final vote on acquittal until next week. The Senate is expected to recess by 9 p.m. Friday and return on Monday.
The Senate is now voting on Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell's timeline for the end of the trial. The White House has declared a public health emergency as the coronavirus spreads from China all around the globe. White House correspondent Greg Clugston reports.
President Trump has decided to temporarily bar foreign nationals from entering the U.S. if they're believed to be a risk of transmitting the virus. Americans returning home from Hubei province in China will face a mandatory 14-day quarantine. Alex Azar is the Secretary of Health and Human Services.
These prudent, targeted, and temporary actions will decrease the pressure on public health officials screening incoming travelers.
The new restrictions begin Sunday afternoon. Greg Clugston, the White House.
Brexit is official.
It's the Brexit celebration that's put on by supporters of Nigel Farage. Pretty noisy, pretty tuneful, although we just had some police pass behind me on horseback, and in front they were running on foot. It looked like they were going down to see what was going on near St James's Park. It looks like that's calmed down, so we're now back to the sort of party atmosphere. In the last hour or so, we've heard from Anne Widdecombe. She's a Brexit Party MEP. We've had Land of Hope and Glory, Rule Britannia. And in many ways, it feels like we're back to the referendum night.
The BBC's Nick Watt. Worries about the coronavirus sent the Dow plunging 603 points, the Nasdaq dropping 148. This is SRN News. The National Religious Broadcasters are gearing up for their annual convention.
It's set to take place the last week of February in Nashville, and a lot of prominent people will be delivering speeches. Perhaps the most prominent will be Attorney General William Barr, one of the more outspoken Christians in government. Senator Marsha Blackburn is also scheduled to speak, as is Pastor Andrew Brunson, whose unjust imprisonment in Turkey was ended by the administrations of President Trump. Education Secretary Betsy DeVos will be there, too. Michael Harrington, SRN News.
The Texas Attorney General is not defending a state agency being sued for punishing a judge who refuses to marry same-sex couples because the state's actions conflict with his views of the Constitution. Attorney General Ken Paxton's office is not representing the Texas Commission on Judicial Misconduct, which issued a warning to McLennan County Justice of the Peace Diane Hensley last year. Hensley, a Christian, argues she could continue to officiate heterosexual marriages and simply refers same-sex couples to other justices. SRN News. At a White House event, President Trump signed a new executive order further establishing his administration's stance against human trafficking.
20 years ago, this nation took a historic step to protect the victims of this form of modern-day slavery here in the United States and all around the world. My administration is 100% committed to eradicating human trafficking from the earth.
The president signed an executive order designating a new White House position dedicated solely to combating human trafficking. A government website will also be created. President Trump will use next week's State of the Union address to promote what he calls the Great American Comeback, according to a senior administration official. White House officials say Mr. Trump wants to use the nationally televised address to highlight his administration's efforts to bolster the economy, tighten immigration rules, and lower prescription drug costs. More on these stories at srnnews.com. I'm Keith Peters in Washington.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
Welcome to the Bruce Montalvo Show. We got Jaja with us.
Yo, what's up?
What's up? What's up? Where you been? It's been like the whole 2020, and I'm in the spaceship.
Oh,
handling a lot of business, aren't you?
Yeah.
In the back, I mean, anti-culture is huge. It's getting huge.
It's just that we have so many items, and we've upcycled so many fucking clothes, and we have so many piles right now. And it's taking so slow.
Are we like a giant warehouse right now?
Well,
it's like that warehouse from Indiana Jones where you just have
I mean,
all those boxes.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. I mean, it's pretty... Right now, I feel like I don't know how to do it any faster. I'm a professional photographer, but, all this interior shit, and the color adjusting, I got to make it right.
Right, because that's what sells, right? The perfect picture is what sells.
It's very hard, And,
but we got great products. Tell them about some of the products we got.
That's what you pull me on for. All right, I mean, I'll tell you. But we've been doing all this releasing of we have clothing now and jewelry, of course. But we have a lot of jewelry we haven't listed yet, and a lot of jewelry that hasn't been made. But we still have a lot of custom-made jewelry at Jaja Jewelry and Poshmark or on Outrageous Jewelry. On eBay, you can go in your advanced search, check that out, or Etsy, we're Antique Obsessions and Conceptual Subculture, also both on Etsy, and we even have some presents left on Amazon Handmade with Antique Obsessions if you like Amazon. But we have so many freaking I don't want to talk about Amazon, but anyway, yeah. So we're making clothing and jewelry. I don't have any clothing up on Amazon really, maybe some tie-dyes, but mostly on Poshmark and eBay, although I'm running out of listings very fast. So we're also on Grailed. We're anti-culture.
High fashion stuff. A lot of my Montalvo brands are there, like Montalvo Suit Co. They could see the suits at Montalvo Suit Co. on Facebook for all the Facebook fans. I got the nicest suits available. I mean, tons of brands. Brooks Brothers, Valentino, Armani. Right? Though we have like tons of suits being listed.
I don't know what Montalvo suit, but you know what? In fact, we don't have a website with that.
No. People can look at my suits on Facebook.com at Montalvo Suit Co. And they can contact me privately on Facebook, and I can give you a better deal. But we're on these platforms: Grailed, Poshmark. All the Montalvo brands are on Anti-Culture.
Well. They're not his brands. We have some Versace, we have Ralph Lauren, we have a lot of Brooks Brothers, like you said. And,
it's the Montalvo brands from the stores that I have stores affiliated to MBN Montalvo Broadcasting Network.
On Facebook.
You have Montalvo Suit Co. You have Montalvo Surf and Sport. All these great things they can look at.
Okay.
Yeah, that way they can contact me and I could give them a better deal.
Absolutely.
Right? Because that's what we want to do.
Is it connected?
Yes, they can see the Poshmark, the listings. If they want to shop and just go to the websites that you're advertising, they could go there. Or they could contact me on Facebook and see all my great memes. Because of guys like me, they're going to institute meme control.
Oh, my God.
Because I list so many memes with so much truth. I mean, it'll make your head spin. Anyway, did you hear that they tried to do a drive-by on Trump today?
Isn't that what everybody's talking about? I mean, do you just want to repeat what everybody wants to fucking chit-chat about?
That's right, because I'm a reptilian.
Okay, give me about...
Just like Sean Hannity, I'm going to start putting on the fucking CIA lapel on my... the pin on my lapel.
So in about 1 minute, why don't you sum it up?
I'm going to part my hair like I have a butt.
Butt haircut. So why don't you do it in 1 minute so nobody else...
I could do it so quick, it's not even going to take a minute. Well, that sounds wrong. No, I could do it all...
You're a 1 minute man?
I could do it all night long. You know that. What I meant was I could summarize. All right? I'm like a jackrabbit. How about that? Boom, 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 boom. Right? You know the song. No, look, the DNC probably hired some drunk that hates Trump to like just keep driving into Mar-a-Lago, because that's what happened. It was just some guy that was just like drunk or whatever. He kept driving past the checkpoints, and the Secret Service like, "Hey, you son of a bitch!" And they like put like freaking 25 caps in his butt, and I don't. It's probably
it's a show.
It's probably a sign.
What do you mean probably? Let me just tell you something. Do you know
everything's a psyop to you, but it is.
Do you know that the Israelis have if you years ago, 15 years ago, I know this because when I went to Israel about 12 years ago, they said there was the technology. My mother always said when I was a kid that they had the technology to know about where you were going on the plane. They knew when you were leaving your house. They knew who you were.
Oh yeah, they got the best. They have the best intelligence agency in the world. And did you hear they just bombed the shit out of those stinky Gazans?
Okay, but we'll talk about that in one second.
Bada bing.
I'm bringing up our intelligence and Mar-a-Lago. What I'm saying is that he's got drone protection. He's got like ultra levels of protection. If you don't think that he's got like a circumference of barrier around his property and his things with drone technology and the Pentagon completely watching out for this guy, then you really don't have faith in our government. And I have more faith in the protection of Donald Trump than if you have fear is not good, because it's not true. There's no way they would ever touch him. They're not, the Pope Mobile. Well, he's got like 10 Pope Mobiles.
What about Alex Jones? Alex Jones has his own tank mobile.
He's right? A little
Alex
risque.
Jones mobile. You know what? He's like Alex Jones has become like the Pope for all of us conspiracy theorists.
Definitely.
Listen, the number to call is whatever. I have a caller, and it's Ruckus.
I hope so. I'd like to say hi to him.
Right. Let's see, where's Ruckus?
What is all this noise, this ruckus you're making?
It's a Ruckus. Hello, Ruckus.
Yo, what's going on, guys?
Hey, there he is. Hey, I got Jaja with me this time, man. What's up?
I can hear her. She's going off. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Ruckus? Yo, I had just been like pulling like all-nighters. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I go 2 days without sleeping, just working and shit. So sometimes it just catches up. Like I try to get as much in the day as possible, but it's not always possible. So, sometimes I like to extend the day onto the next day, and everybody's sleeping. So then, but that's how it is. It's like a struggle all the time, and we're just trying to do our hustle and and get our messages out there and be artistic and creative.
Bank flow. Anyway, what's up, Ruckus? What's going on, my friend? Have you contracted the coronavirus yet?
No,
Good.
I've been trying my hardest, but no Chinese people will cough on me.
They haven't showed up in New Mexico yet, right?
Yeah, no, not yet. However, I am calling with some breaking news.
Breaking news.
Break it.
Did some Chinese guy sneeze?
This is going to be like, this is the only place you're going to hear this, because I've
Good.
been paying attention to this all day and no one said a damn thing. So I'm like, well, I better take a snapshot of this and post it on my Facebook. But I thought I would call in and let the whole world know through your channel real quick.
Thank you.
Because everyone missed this, but you will get this. You will get this because you understand
Excelente.
the language of symbology, right?
That's right, my
and
friend.
That's what this is all about. So while everyone is being distracted and chasing their tails and going in and out of the rabbit hole with the Kobe Bryant thing, the Epstein thing, the coronavirus thing, a silent little thing took the world by storm today. When I turned on the local news, everyone was gossiping and talking about Tom Brady's tweet. Did you see that?
That cryptic tweet that he's not going to play for the New England Cheaters?
Isn't he a clone or something?
Hey, doesn't he kiss his dad? Doesn't he like give his dad like French kisses?
Okay, let Ruckus finish.
I don't know that guy. Well, anyways, well, first of all, what do they call Tom Brady?
A cheater who tucks his balls in.
Well,
and deflates his balls. I forgot about that. I don't know what they call him. He thinks he's some rich, pretty boy. Fuck what?
Yeah. Well, they call him the GOAT, the greatest of all time.
Oh, right.
So keep that in mind. All right. So you have that going. You have that one thing going, and you all know about the symbology of Baphomet and the goat and the sacrifice and all this weird shit, right?
Greatest of all time.
Check this out. Now, everyone was talking about what you said, his cryptic tweet, and that was their words, not yours, not mine. Everyone is just talking about, so right out the gate, he's saying this is cryptic, this is a hidden meaning, right? The whole thing. So I'm just like, huh. And there's absolutely no caption on the photo, which made it cryptic. So I'm sitting there looking at this on the news this morning, and the screenshot that they're showing of his tweet shows the time that he made the tweet. Everyone in the world right now, wherever you are, if you have Twitter, you can go look at when he made this tweet. And like for my instance, I was just looking at it a little while ago, and it said in my time zone, which is Mountain Standard Time, that it was at 4:36 p.m. The reason that jumped out at me is because when they were showing this on the local news, whoever they were showing this from, probably from AP, Associated Press or whatever, it was showing the universal time zone, the Greenwich Mean Time. And the time, and so like I go look right now, 4:36 p.m. is equivalent to what I was looking at on the TV, which it said 23:36. Okay, that was the time that it was tweeted at Universal Time, at 23:36 minutes. Now, if you know what 2300 is, that's 11 o'clock p.m. And so he puts this tweet at exactly 11:36 p.m., and anyone who knows anything about numerology knows that 3 plus 6 equals 9. So now we have 11-9, and our brain reads everything backwards, frontwards. So I believe that this was a projection of a 9/11 event. And that is breaking news, and I'm going on the record, and I'm saying that right here, right now.
Wow.
Because of the whole weird shit surrounding this cryptic tweet with the goat with the 9/11 time stamp on it.
Yeah, man, and they... Hey, they called Kobe Bryant the greatest of all time, and when he died at 41, right? Supposedly 41 years old. And then when they took him out of the last game, they took him out of his last NBA game, there was 4.1 seconds left. So that's, again, they love the language of symbols, numerology. I mean, it couldn't be more scripted. What's the Bible? A script. It's scripture. Scripture. I mean, it's in the words. But you mentioned Tom Brady. Did you ever see that Netflix show, what is it, Living with Yourself with Paul Rudd?
It's on Netflix.
No, I don't.
Well, yeah. Well, they have shows suck, but whatever. It's about cloning. That's why I'm bringing it up, because they love the predictive programming through all these shows they put out. You know what I'm saying? So it's about cloning, and they have Tom Brady going to a spa that's like a Korean freaking DARPA run spa, like underground stuff, and they cloned Tom Brady. Like, they killed I don't know, who knows? You know how the conspiracy goes that, like, Eminem's a clone, all these other people are clones. You know what I'm saying? Well, that the basis I shows that they cloned Tom Brady. But, yeah, they're coming out with all sorts of crazy crap, and the CIA's declassifying it through these shows. And, again, you told me last week about the Event 201, and that sounds like a date, right? That sounds like we talked about it online. It sounds like it's the Super Bowl, around the Super Bowl time.
Yep.
So what the hell are they planning? Are they going to turn all those people into Nah, they're already zombies. They're already zombies. Bread and circus zombies.
Because you have that weird shit right before the Super Bowl. You have a weird cryptic tweet. You have all of this like, projecting to somebody. It's almost like this is like how they're supposed to okay, they're friends and family who are on the know. This is like their symbol, okay, you guys got to go down into your, don't be in this town at this time or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm like,
yes.
But I don't think there's going to be anything crazy like a shooting or a bombing. But I think, what if everyone that shows up at the Super Bowl gets sprayed with something? You know what I mean? Or And then they could just really blame it on anybody or anything. Or they could be like, oh, well, we don't know where, well, we think it was the Chinese umpire when he sneezed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The Simpsons called it, too.
Yeah.
They had them predicting the coronavirus and the Batman movie. You remember there was some type of event at a football game? It shows like a terrorist attack or something.
Didn't they have some people jumping out of some building in L.A. yesterday?
Yeah, all hell's breaking loose
like
right now.
flames
Trump's about to be impeached, supposedly by the Marxist Leninists running the government, and Andy Kaufman or Adam Schiff or whatever the hell he is. I mean, all hell's breaking loose.
And what about the Planters peanut? You know,
That's right. The Mr. Peanut died, and then Kobe died. Right? It's like, whoa.
So Bruce was saying about his name. He's like, he's got some Japanese, Asian beef name, Kobe. I'm like,
and his name's literally Kobe and Beans, of meat and beans.
So we realized it was a joke name. It's a joke name anyway. That's probably not his birth name on, right? So it's very weird because nobody even knew what Kobe beef was before they decided to, put his name out anyway, and then became really big and expensive. And so was his name. But in fact, there's a reason for that because, we kind of think about some of these superstar, these like soldiers, these like super soldiers as like created, and they're done with certain family privileges. And they breed a certain breed. So the Planters was very interesting that he was like, well, this is really suspicious, Bruce caught it. And I was like, well, maybe he's part of, because, the Boule, they have a lot, they have their own.
That's this
power.
black secret society.
Yeah, they have their own secret society, right? So I'm looking at him, I'm like, you know what, maybe Kobe was really a carver.
Related to the guy that came up with peanut butter. That though, yeah, right.
So I'm like, I pull up anybody can do this. You can pull up their pictures, Kobe Bryant, and you can pull up George Washington Carver's face, and there's remarkable similarities, including around the eyes, the eyebrows, the jawbone, the cheekbone, the chin was the same, almost the nose. It was incredible, just so many like swarthy characteristics in their skull. And it made me really think that, he was probably a chosen kid, they put
all these guys are related to the elite or monarchies, and they're put on like the big stage. It's like the Shakespeare.
Yeah, and that's why Bruce and I really have a very hard time believing.
That's why this death is more than likely a theater. Some just spectacle. The guy's number was 33. Again, 33 in high school or whatever. That's a Masonic number. He's a real piece of shit anyway. It's not like he cured Magic Johnson's AIDS. The guy was advocating for the SPLC. A real heel.
Yeah, but his great-great-granddaddy invented peanut butter, so that was pretty good.
Well, that's why he had privilege to get $1 million for putting a ball in a hole.
It stops a lot of starvation in the world. I have to tell you that a lot of kids eat that for lunch. So, it's cheap enough and it's healthy enough. So,
Anyway, there's more important things. What the hell's going on in China? They're throwing their cats out the window, these Chinese. They're getting crazier out there. And the martial law that's out there in China, it's still in full force. Right, Ruckus?
Oh, yeah. I think China has, just completely lost its shit.
They always were lost. They're just run by the communists.
There are two interesting fallouts so far with this whole thing that could serve many further agendas. So I'm like, because this whole thing really feels like asymmetrical warfare. You know what I mean? All these conspiracies and crazy shit from all sides.
Right.
And that's what they love. So that's frightening enough. But dude, they were all like, there was this group of protesters that were marching down the street. I think this was in France or someplace like that, right? Mm. And so you have a lot of, like, their Chinese population screaming, we don't have coronavirus, because people are treating them like the plague now.
Yeah, men all have a yellow fever. They're mere person. Men not yellow.
And you have that kind of thing, so everyone making fun of it and all this stuff, and I'm just like, that's one thing. But people are honestly... You remember how it was after 9/11? Again, I'm bringing up 9/11. Man, I'm giving myself goosebumps. But like after the supposed terrorist attack on the towers and all that shit, and it was like these Islamic extremists. Dude, everyone suddenly got ultra super scared and racist against anybody of Middle Eastern descent. Like completely normal people that had absolutely nothing to do with any of those types of, but if you just look foreign like that way, you got hated on, and then people were like fucking bashing people's like grocery stores and small businesses, beating people up, killing people. It was pretty wild. Dude. No one could trust them, right?
Right.
Now it's the same thing with anyone of any Chinese or Asian persuasion. I didn't mean to rhyme like that, but the Asian persuasion are getting the cold shoulder from everybody, and everyone's like, "Oh, stay away from me! You have the plague."
Or stay away from Chinese products.
What? It's a hate crime to like cover your mouth if somebody is near you and they sneeze if they happen to be a Chinese person. Because then that's a hate crime.
Ruckus, they want people
sneeze in your face and you're going to jail.
They want people to stop buying the Chinese products. Also, that's another way of putting them down, because now people might not want to buy products that are from like a Chinaman or something.
Second thing that I noticed immediately, the fallout, and again, it was just right on your stream right now from SRN News. I mean, this is hitting world economies. It's hitting the
That's right.
The Dow Jones Industrial is down. You know, the Wall Street indexes. Everything's down. You know what I mean?
And what the hell's that going to do here? They own our debt. They own the U.S. debt. I mean, out of every dollar in circulation, that's like 71 cents that goes back to the Chinese, I've heard. So they pretty much own the mint here. What happens if they go down? I mean, wouldn't we crash? I mean, we're totally indebted to them.
No, we're a separate sovereign nation. Obviously, we can run ourselves.
Are we?
Yeah, we don't need freaking plastic Chinese goods. We have 3D printers.
I think the corporation's been taken over by China, pretty much.
Anyway, they're doing it to their own people. I don't believe.
Well, at least in L.A., where the Chinese have bought up at least 71% of what's going on. I mean. This whole thing with Kobe, it could be predicting some type of tragedy in L.A. They keep saying 2020, that's the number for having 2020 vision. So are we all going to see something like you said, a 9/11? Some type of new 9/11?
You hear all of the people who are the ones that sit around, like the policy people, like the think tank groups, right? You know what I mean? Like, what's some of those?
Yeah, in London.
That's all they do. They sit around and they talk
Tavistock.
about it, right? And the ones that out in the open. I'm not talking about the secret society in the Bilderberg.
Yeah, their Council of Foreign Relations people. Yeah, right.
Yeah, they all say that, and the way they say it is kind of creepy, but they say, like, we're long overdue for another 9/11. And these are, like, their words that they use when they're talking and hanging out. And they're not necessarily, I don't think that in context that they're saying, like, oh, we need to create one. They're saying that the way the world is like, nobody can believe that we haven't had another 9/11 event yet. You know what I mean?
Right.
When you take these little snippets, and this is like, we don't know what their real policies are, what they're really talking about, especially like the Bilderberger groups, but like when they're the words that are presented to the public through media is very important. So the fact that they even talk about this stuff and that like the general public can hear about, like, oh, there's some smart people somewhere talking about, oh, we're long overdue for a 9/11 event. Even if you hear that once, that goes into your subconscious brain, and we all start to believe that.
That's
like
right.
NLP, kind of like neuro-linguistic programming. And
exactly.
We're all starting to just like accept this, like that it's coming and it's going to happen.
It goes into the collective unconscious.
Yep. And then, like we manifest our reality and all that crazy stuff, and they really try to influence that shit.
Well, what about 2020? Do you think anything's going to happen in 2020?
It's already happened.
It's I don't know, man. But I will say this: when 2012 came around, I was like, funny. I remember all of this end of the world mind stuff and shit like that from like 20 years before, like on some shit that I had read or researched back in the day. But I had been convinced back in that day, like in the late 80s, early 90s or whatever, I thought that the end of the world date was supposed to happen in 2021. And then as we got closer to 2012, all of a sudden everyone was talking about 2012, and I was like, the whole time I was like, man, I really thought that was supposed to go down in 2021.
Right.
No, I thought
that was a misreading.
I thought maybe they fucked something up, and they fucked the numbers the wrong way, and 2012 was not the thing, and it's really 2021. I don't know.
But what do you think is supposed to happen? I mean, there's supposed chaos, judgment, revelations and shit.
Like
what do you think?
If we're putting out the tarot, but if we're playing the tarot for the year 2020, I mean, what's that? The card of judgment, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like
Judgment Day.
The Aurora Borealis is supposed to open up in the center of the Earth, and
there literally is a giant hole on the Earth in the North Pole. I mean, even Walt Disney know about it. He put it in his cartoons in the 20s.
A compass will tell you that.
Right. So, I mean, it's just creepy. I mean, it's all, like you said, it's all the language of symbols. Did you know, Ruckus, I wrote a book, man. I wrote a book titled The Language of Symbols with the good work and help from Jordan Maxwell and a couple of guest researchers. We put that out. And I'm going to send you a copy for calling in, Ruckus.
Oh, cool. I'd love to check it out, man. Congratulations on your book, buddy.
He's got a
Thank
great
you,
library.
bro. Yeah.
Ruckus has a huge library of esoterica. I mean,
Yeah, he'll appreciate it. Look, if you like Bill Cooper, if you like David Icke, Jordan Maxwell, myself, and others, then you're going to like this book. I guarantee it. I don't hold any punches. If you're ready for the absolute truth, this is like one of those books that's going to like tell you everything you want to know about symbology. And I'm not doing so bad in the Amazon Kindle ranks.
Anyway, do you think that the coronavirus is real?
Well, you know, there's too many weird shit going on with that.
What do you think about it being connected to Resident Evil, bro?
Wait.
That's why I'm like confused.
I know,
because I know these viruses exist, right? Like, I'm not talking about the zombie thing, right? But the virus that was in the video game Resident Evil was called the T virus because it's a T cell style virus, which is similar to what AIDS is. AIDS is a T4 cell, okay? And it's just the way the thing looks. And if you look this up online to what these things look like, they actually look like little tiny mini like robot spiders, actually. But these are like cells in the virus. So it's interesting that this virus is also a T-cell type virus, so that's strange. You got the corona, which is the anagram of raccoon city, so that's really weird. And then I have not vetted it yet, but obviously we've all seen the pictures that implies or states that the research lab outside of Wuhan has that umbrella logo.
I've seen it.
I do know that there is a research lab there where they're saying there is one. I just haven't done the research and proven to myself that that's really their logo. So that could be a red herring. That could be fake. But there's always truth in the fake. Regardless, you do have a number of experts who know about viruses and know what this virus is, and you can look it up online yourself because you know it's out there.
No,
it's acting like a bioweaponized virus. So
let me tell you something
no one's admitting that it is, but they're looking at it and they're like, well, the way this virus is acting, if somebody put a gun against my head and said, what kind of virus do you think, I'd say this was made in a lab. So, the people who know viruses are saying, hey, this looks like this is a weapon,
There's one thing about viruses is that I know, okay, because I study herbs. You can cure almost any virus pretty quickly, okay? And Chinese medicine is pretty efficient.
It's ancient.
In
those guys
killing
use
viruses.
stuff.
So I don't really buy it that it's a virus. If it is a parasite or a protozoa like a leishmaniasis, that shit is fucked up. I believe that they would say that it's a zombie virus just to throw people off so they'll never figure out the cure. But in fact, they can do that, and they can get many scientists to come up with some bull fucking shit. And let me tell you how many pages of bullshit I've seen when I've read millions of pages of
scientists are full of bullshit.
Real medical science.
You break down the word science. It literally means Latin for dividing of knowledge. So these guys, the exalted ones, the masters, and they get to divide the knowledge so that the plebeians, us, supposedly to them, we don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, well, they've stolen people's black books from called witches, right? But they weren't really witches. They were like family. Most of that shit wasn't really spells, bro. Most of that shit was like cures for this.
Right?
Yeah, they were probably like, this is what's in our garden.
This is incredible because if you look at the word, I'm like Webster's dictionary right now, folks. If you look at the word pharmacy, pharmakia, magic. It comes from magic, and it means witchcraft also.
But means farm. It comes from the farm.
That's right.
You grow it. So yeah, I don't really believe it's more like this is what will heal you, and they keep that knowledge so buried.
It's a cult.
It is so occult. It is so hidden. It's even hidden within the hidden communities. So they don't want to tell you anything.
That's the real occult.
Yeah, from like keeping your teeth like bacteria free and your gums healthy. They won't tell you ever.
How many hermetic masters does it take to make a toothpaste for Her Majesty? Literally, you looked up Her Majesty, hermetic magic.
Yeah, right. She probably has all of her teeth. So
let me all of this just reminds me of something that's been like in the back of my mind and bugging me, and I haven't vocalized yet, so I'll do so now.
Do it, bro.
And it makes perfect sense. Like, you know, we know that there's people behind the scenes that are doing all sorts of evil shit. Great, and it's very hard to figure out exactly what they're doing. And we know that they love to lie to the public with propaganda and try to persuade our feelings and the way we think and act and all that stuff, right? It used to be for many since its inception of media, it's been used to as the voice of like the government, the mainstream, the status quo, what they whoever they are want us to believe. It was always outletted through media, the trusted media, and we've seen this decline in the trust of media because and it's produced people like you, there are these people who like so many years ago started to wake up to the bullshit. People like Bill Cooper and stuff like that. But only until very recently did we start to hear about these things in the main purview of public society, thanks to like Donald Trump. So you have Donald Trump going up there, and some of the stuff that he was immediately talking about were like sounded like conspiracy theorists, like far right wing conspiracy. Alex Jones jumped on the Trump train. Everybody, all these alternative media people who used to. None of them that I trust, by the way. These are all the ones that I can prove to myself are lying stacks of shit gatekeepers, like Alex Jones. But they changed their tune. So
hey, don't talk about my friend Bill Hicks like that.
Yeah,
that's my good buddy Bill Hicks, man. Hey, come on. Hey, we love Bill. What's up, Bill? No, look, I don't agree with Bill. Bill's a piece of crap. Bill's a piece of crap for supporting Trump because Trump is a piece of crap for taking away Meals on Wheels from old people. How about that? And how about Trump freaking trying to regulate how many times I flush my goddamn toilet? Nobody's going to tell me how many times I'm going to freaking flush my toilet. Now they want to have the government in my freaking toilet? Go on, Ruckus.
Bruce is going to be sitting on his toilet.
No, I'm the incredible Bruce now.
I think that somebody really smart somewhere at one of these little secret meetings did what I kind of do in my job, or some people who are marketers and online people and social media. We analyze and track and look at the data and see what's working here and what's working there, and then we adjust our plan to accordingly, right? Yeah, so I think that they realized at some point, well, we can't just come out and say, hey, we're the media, we're the government, and we're telling you this and expect the people to believe it. So instead, they send this information now to the back channels, to these other channels, and they create this meme society where now everyone runs.
Yeah, they're going to have meme control. And look, Bill, Alex Jones, like, at the end of the day, you think when all this shit's going down and they institute CONOP 888, basically FEMA camps and put people in FEMA camps and round people up, I mean, he's going to tell you to go to the FEMA camps. Right? Maybe. That's right. You making me go against Bill now, man. Damn.
Listen, I don't think so. I
love you, Bill.
I don't even think it's going to happen. Well, anything can happen in any area, but, it's like, just, you don't understand. Like, I was around during 9/11, and I saw, it was hard enough to get
Could you smell the bodies and the asbestos?
I never went out.
What an awful smell. And the smell of directed energy weapons.
Yeah, it was like fried hair.
And nowadays, what really pisses me off, Ruckers, is just the evil out there. They're roasting koalas with directed energy weapons in Australia. They're disintegrating children in school buses in California. You remember Paradise? And that reminds me of, like, Back to the Future. That's another reason why I got a gripe with Trump, because I hear he's part of the Plus Ultra Time Traveling Society. And he's out there basically predicted in Back to the Future as the character Biff, and that character owns a freaking place called the Paradise Casino, and in Paradise they use like directed energy weapons. So yeah, I'm not on the Trump train 100%. Look, I think he's funny. I don't think it's Trump doing the most of this stuff anyway. I think he's just used as an image, and it's still the same old stinky Nazi government that's the real Nazi government from Operation Paperclip.
And you know what? The Chinese work with the Nazis, and the Chinese...
They always work together, those two. Biowarfare, primarily, and I was told this by Jim Mars.
And China is a dictatorship. So they have always tried to control their people. They have always tried to instill fear and fear-mongering and people management. They can't even do that. This is their
human cattle.
These are their drills for their country because they've been out of control, and they love control more than even this country. This country is weird. They kind of like a lot of ebb and flow in a weird way. They can make, we have our own statement to make in the world. They, unfortunately...
We're still one of the Queen's bastard sons.
We're still the coolest country. So, but they really have problems, and they can easily manifest. They can't even use... They can manifest lies. They can't even use... the internet. So
I won't believe this until they start eating each other. Anyway, Ruckus, what do you think? You still there?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, my brother?
Listen, you gotta go off like she does. Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I'm not full of nuclear radiation, because she's like a freaking bomba.
Yeah, I don't really...
You're glowing with the second hand of the knowledge.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't really... Thanks, though. But I really don't believe in this virus. I think they're using it as a false flag in their own country. I don't believe that the Chinese couldn't cure their own... They'll never let you know. You'll never have a person here that leaks it.
Well, they don't want to let you know they have pyramids. They cover them up with all sorts of shrubbery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think pyramids are using?
Shrubbery.
That's right. Bring me a shrubbery.
The knights who say me.
That's them. That's who's behind all this. There's some secret knights out there in their round table groups.
Do you smoke weed?
And meanwhile, Jeff Bezos apparently makes a few extra $1 billion, and he's just like, whatever.
Hey, Jaja asked you if you blaze it up, because we're pro ganja blazing on the Bruce Montalvo show.
Do you smoke at all? No.
New Mexico, the state I live in, is now on the path to legalize recreational use of marijuana.
Yeah.
That figures. I mean, they had Gary Johnson.
The bill just passed, and it's going to go up to the governor. And the governor, this lady out here, she has already said, because she basically campaigned on it, that she's for it, and she was going to sign it into law. So pretty soon out here, you'll be hearing about the fact that New Mexico has joined some of the other states with recreational marijuana.
I hope they don't rob the public, because I know in Massachusetts they're paying like $450 for an ounce, so that's quite high, and then I'm sure so I don't think New Mexico could be like that, but I think whatever, medical's always, the taxes are pretty high, but your state's not that greedy. But in Albuquerque...
No, but we're a low-income state, and I'm pretty sure you realize that if people are, illegally selling, in this case, marijuana, and that's basically how they live and survive and thrive, and that's their business, basically, by doing something like this, you're putting that guy out of business now. And I don't care if they're a legal business and they pay taxes or not, they're still a source of income and economy and a part of the community and a shopper. And this stuff could actually really affect people negatively rather than in the good. And you got the government coming in telling them what and who can, what they can sell you. It's got to be regulated and tested. And
they're doing that with the vape now.
And it's going to be taxed up the ass.
Ruckus, they're doing that with the vape now. All the head shops and all the kids that were like 18, they used to go get their little flavored strawberry or birthday cake vape or whatever they had, right? The little trendy hipsters they made it to where they have to card them, and now it's like, you got to be 21 now. So and they're taxing it, and or trying to, or they banned it. Right, so I mean, this draconian overreach of Trump. I mean, he's putting these guys out of business too. I mean, what has he got against these idiots vaping?
I'm guessing he doesn't have a personal interest, but I bet you there's some lobbyists that went over there and stuffed some cash up his ass.
That's what happened.
Yeah, sounds about right.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
You guys see this movie called Thank You for Smoking?
No, is it funny?
No.
You got to see that movie. It will blow your effing mind. But yeah, it's all about a tobacco lobbyist. It was great. It's the guy who played Two-Face in those Batman movies.
Oh, that one guy. Yeah.
That one actor.
I've heard of that movie, actually, the Thank You for Smoking, right? But never got around to seeing it. So it's all about, like, the propaganda behind the tobacco industry.
Yeah, the main character, that's his job. That's what he does. And he goes and he pays shit tons of money on behalf of, like...
You know, that's what Trump represents. Trump represents...
and check this out. There's a scene, spoiler alert, because, I mean, he's dealing with some shady people, and he starts to have, like, a change of heart or, like, a conscience or whatever, and they try to kill this guy. But the way they try to kill this guy is they cover his entire body with nicotine patches. He's almost poisoned to death with fucking nicotine.
Oh, my God.
That's horrible.
It's crazy.
Wow. So, I like nicotine, but I smoke American Spirit organic, and I roll my own. I don't believe...
How?
I believe that every... first of all, it doesn't even cost that much. It's, like, way cheaper. But that's not even it. It's totally organic. I mean, and they don't spray it. And the worst thing are those... First of all, the chemicals they put on the average tobacco is really...
Or the cigarette butt. That's
and then
what,
the butt, I was
kills
telling
some
you this
people.
morning, I said it's really the resin, it's so bad. I mean, the filters are really bad. And I'd like to tell you something, that tobacco, there's a reason why, in its real form, that the American Indians used it, as well as marijuana. And it does something, they also used to mix it with Moline, and it would clear the mucus out of their lungs. And I have something else to say, that most of the people that have lived the longest have smoked. Now, I do not recommend, anything that's sprayed. Really, even I don't even like a marijuana sprayed. Really, honestly, they should come out with organic marijuana, and then I'll be like, yeah, thank you, sir. They don't even give us that fucking option. But regardless, whatever. Eventually, they'll have that too. But yeah. So that's what it is. With
organic cannabis.
Yeah, that tobacco is not as bad as it really, they did regulate it, and I'm really against all those major companies, the Camels and the Marlboros. They don't have.
And notice they always put that propaganda where the little kid's candy is and at the knee length. So
and they really put so much extra chemical in it that most of the nicotine, they're not as addicted to. See it. And then those vape things are fucking disgusting. I mean, nicotine is very powerful, and those gums will get you more addicted to cigarettes. Now, just plain old nicotine without any chemicals, like American Spirit, you can not smoke for fucking 4, 5, 6 hours. I could take a fly, never feel anything. It's just like, I use it to mix my weed with, because it extends it. But, and then I also like a little nicotine to get your head focused. There's nothing really that wrong with little amounts of nicotine. But when they put it in patches and they put it in vapes, you're talking about, the gum. I've tried to quit, when I was, smoking, and actually I found way more addictive qualities in the gum than I ever had with any kind of tobacco. So I could put tobacco down. It's not a problem, but it's just that I think that it gets a worse rap because of the company's manipulation of the product, the end product. You just have to research any positive things about tobacco, but it's very hard to pilfer through, and I'm sure you won't,
Anyway, I don't smoke fucking tobacco, and it stinks up my truck, right? So I hate it personally. And Ruckus, do you think Gary Johnson is a reptilian? No, wait, I asked him an important question here. He's in New Mexico. Yeah. I want to know if he thinks that Gary Johnson is a reptilian.
No, I don't believe that.
No? Okay.
Not personally.
Because just
I believe?
New Mexico's kind of close.
He is certainly pro marijuana.
Right.
Speaking of pro marijuana,
that's good.
That guy all the way.
I used to see an iguana at this one recording studio where everybody gets stoned, and it was just sitting there, and it was like loving the ambiance of the weed everywhere.
I believe that Gary Johnson, I think he's related to Vince McMahon. I mean, they look so much alike.
I think he's a batshit crazy lunatic. Licking what? Didn't he lick a reporter or something once?
How could he have gotten elected? I mean, I believe a couple of things that he says, but he's so, like...
I think it's sad because these parties work for the Democrats.
He was like a straight player, politician kind of guy when he was, like, governor out here. But it was, like, after that, he got into this, like, weird hippie alternative kind of... He just kind of changed. And he started running around and talking about, like, you know, well, on the medical side of marijuana from at the beginning, for sure. But I know when he was running in the 2016 campaign, he was pretty well liked in the beginning, and people were digging it. But they set him up with this. His running mate was a total fucking whack job.
Yeah.
And then they set him up with a few of these questions, like about Syria and stuff, and he was like, "What's Aleppo?" And
whatever.
After that,
like, he literally threw himself out of his chair at some meeting he did, like out of nowhere, like he was like retarded or something. He's just like, "Oops," duh, like a dork.
But have you been to Santa Fe much? I mean, is Albuquerque by Santa Fe?
Yeah, how are the burritos there?
About 2 hours away.
Have you been there?
Oh, Santa Fe? Oh, yeah.
Is it nice?
You would like Santa Fe, Joshua. I know that. It's all turquoise city.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, don't you see a lot of jewelry, you know, in Albuquerque? I mean, I get my sterling silver from a dealer in Albuquerque, actually.
Yep, yeah, and but if you go up in Santa Fe, you have all the actual Native Americans sitting there laying on their rugs with all the jewelry that they're made, and they're sitting there making more, and people go by and shop, and it's really kind of kitschy. It's really cool.
They charge though. They know.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna charge you $3.
And then some of these people, I think some of these people like don't. I think they're in costume. To be honest with you, I think some of these people are not actual like real Native Americans living like this traditional lifestyle. This is just how they dress up and present themselves to the public for the gimmick of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Bruce and I have a huge turquoise collection now from a couple of miners in Albuquerque, and
they got that gem show coming up right here in
yeah, but you can't get what I have.
Arizona.
They're too expensive over here. Anyway, for those gems, for the turquoise, see, that's the thing. Everybody knows the turquoise is very expensive, but I got a dealer over in his part, in Ruckus's part of the town. They find it over there. I was telling you that years ago. They get the turquoise over there, and they get it. I buy it cheaper over there, and very much nicer, more beautiful, fresh cuts from a lapidary person that gets it from a miner. Like straight up. So we do have that. We're gonna get into more bezeling of our own jewelry. And sand casting eventually when I get these piles of clothes off the floor, and yeah.
Yeah, we got tons of stuff for the network, bro. We're building clothing brands and stores, and it helps fund the show and helps do what we're doing.
Fucking survive, what I'm saying? But it also helps us be creative, and we really are dying to get back into the sterling,
I don't want to die like Kobe Bryant. That's why I'm never getting on a helicopter.
Like, we're very excited. We're really excited to get back into making, getting our torches, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And it's just that it's kind of weird because we don't want to do it in the winter, and we don't want to do it near this guy's house. We rent, so, it's not our property, So there are places to be able to...
Yeah, I need to make a compound like David Koresh or something.
No, we go to this class. His father's a welder, and I did welding, and we did some...
I don't have a father. I was born from a jackal in hell.
That's true, but you did have... But your father does iron and steel.
My father's actually Iron Man.
He's a steel worker, and I did
one of Robert Downey Jr.'s bastard kids.
And Bruce and I took some sterling, how to anneal, how to work with sterling. So we were doing that, soldering and everything like that, and it was great. we have the supplies in the class, but the class is like, oh God, they don't give us enough time.
There's so many libtards in those classes around here, Ruckus. And they're trying to turn this area of Arizona and the whole damn state. They're doing Operation Blue or something. And I hated going to all these places where she was dragging me to, because there's libtards everywhere. There's like some raggedy old bitch walking around. And if you're not pro-choice, you're an asshole. I'm like, why do you want to kill babies, you old hag? I mean, you can't have any babies. Babies are of none of your concern.
Okay, but
right? I mean, what do you think of these crazy libtards? You got a lot of them in in New Mexico.
I'm sure.
Well, a lot of people out here are just pretty chill.
They are chill.
We do have a red alert kind of thing going on out here. They're trying to push the red flag gun.
Oh man,
here.
That's what I'm talking about. These libtards are nuts.
So when they decided to start doing this up at the state capitol's rotunda there in Santa Fe, they for the first time ever did not allow guns to be on the premises or there in the building.
Meanwhile, Bernie Sanders walks around with
this is an open carry state. New Mexico, you can just walk around with your sidearm as long as it's in plain view. It's an open carry state. And it's an extended castle law state, too, which means that you can carry concealed on your property, and there's an extension of your property, i.e. your vehicle. So if it's on the road and it's moving and you're in it, you can legally conceal your weapon because it's part of your castle, part of your property.
That's incredible. No, they are really doing this draconian overreach. These Marxists, they're trying to take over all the supposed Republican states. They're turning into blue states. Well, they want them to.
Yeah.
Well, it's good. They can do things in inner cities, but it's not going to really happen, I think, for a while. Because you guys have snakes and coyotes. We have a javelina running around, a coyote.
All these cool fireworks stores.
Hawks on our fucking lawn. I mean, it's creepy, man, sometimes, Like, oh, what is that, a coyote on the front lawn? I'm like, tell it to run away. And I was like, and the hawk fucking came 2 inches from my face a couple of times.
Whip out the 9mm and shoot it away.
I don't know what to
Get out of here.
I started feeding this dog, right? And then she started having more dogs, because she was like living here. And then she kept coming back, and I was like, "Fuck, I gotta feed these motherfuckers." So,
she's become Mother Nature now out here. You know how many different species of avian life I have here in Arizona? Like right outside my window, there's literally 23 species of bird.
It's vicious. You have cardinals and shit.
Yeah, they got mohawks. They're punk rock birds. It's crazy. One of them looks like that Billie Eilish bitch or whatever. It's got green hair. I don't know.
And when Bruce was in ninth grade, he did this beautiful a print, like a woodcut, but it was a litho cut. So he cut it out, you know what I'm saying, with the carving shit. So he carved out this cardinal, and we made some prints, actually. We're selling them on our Poshmark. The Anti-Culture is the closet. But it looks exactly like all these cardinals.
Like, he just shows up right out the window. The same guy that I sculpted back in the year 2000.
You made a lino cut. It's called a lino cut or something.
It's right out of the Twilight Zone anyway. So Ruckus, I don't want to hold you up on the line. I want to let you know, bro, for calling in, you're going to get a copy of my book, bro. Because you weren't a puss, you called in, and you've been calling in with breaking news, breaking information.
As long as they're not Breaking Bad.
No, I'm not gonna whip out the meth pipe, man. I mean, I'm not about that life, the meth life. These meth heads. There's a lot of meth heads out here in Arizona too, bro. They're like zombies already.
Yeah, especially in the heat.
Yeah, no, I mean they filmed that show Breaking Bad here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, which is kind of ironic and weird because we have a problem with that out here, a pretty big one. And so it was pretty controversial when they first started doing that show. And it's interesting, the more popular it got, the more okay it was that everybody was.
It's okay to be a meth head.
I mean, we were all really like, oh, really? This is some fucked up shit. Wow. You're going to make this shit here? And we got this problem and we're trying to get the kids off it. And here they are, glorifying it, basically. The way, TV rappers glorify the lifestyle. And I'm like, this is fucked up. So, but now everyone's changed their mind because it's like it's a boon for industry and business here because people, it's a tourist thing now. People come here and they have little, like, you can tour and you see, I haven't really watched the show, but they have like, oh, and this is where so-and-so got his head blown off, and everyone's like taking pictures, and I'm like, this is a sick world we live in now, you know what I mean?
It's like that with The Sopranos. Like, you know, you drive by in New Jersey. Hey, look, there's the strip club, the Bada Bing. Hey, whoa.
Oh, very nice, very nice. And there's an Asian guy with his camera, and everyone runs away scared because they think
he coughed.
Coronavirus.
No, but that was on the look, bro. That was on The Simpsons, man. And you know, and then I told you the other week, last show, I said the U.S. military was already running some type of operation testing undead chickens, and you know, in the event of a zombie apocalypse. And then we're talking about Bill Gates and the Event 201. I mean, it's getting crazy. It's getting to the point where I feel like you said, a 9/11, a new 9/11, like 9/11 times like 5 or something. It's going to be big. Whatever they do next is going to be huge.
They can spread leishmaniasis.
They're already showing you an ear print of an earmark of what's to come. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, but there's many different strains of leishmaniasis, for example, and they keep showing these people with like open sores.
We're pretty much all going to die if it's real.
Well, if it's leishmaniasis,
so get your guns right now.
It affects your liver, it affects your spleen, and it affects your bone marrow. So leishmaniasis, and it will affect your skin. It'll give you open.
Pretty much fucked. That sounds like you're up fucked river without a paddle.
It'll give you open sores. Sometimes it'll open your sores up. It will open like the size of your leg, and they amputate.
It's literally a flesh-eating bacteria,
virus, right? And it comes from, and then it's very hard to figure out because there's many different strains, and your doctor won't even begin to test you because if they do, you'll end up in some CDC quarantine. But for some reason they never test for this shit. But it is so rampant. It comes from a sandfly. You could be sure that they have it in India. They have it because they have
definitely there.
India,
you see that Ganges River? Ugh.
Yeah, they have a lot of
Indians.
All here in Mexico. They have it in Peru. They have a Brazilian version. They have all these different versions of leishmaniasis. That all they have to do is trap some of this mucus attacking virus. It's a protozoa. That's the thing. It is not even.
So we're literally going to have a World War III and this coronavirus / Resident Evil at the same time. Wow, sounds like we're
going to tell you it's a virus, but if it's a protozoa, it cannot be treated that way. And you have to look into protozoan cures like Episode T or Century Plant, or there's many different protozoan. There's a Sweet Annie and cloves and black walnut hull, which is because it's like a parasite almost. There's a lot of different things. It's really fucked up. I mean, it's like a malaria, and you have to use like tansy for that. And
you got to do that in the Resident Evil game also. You got to combine the green herb and the red herb with the yellow herb and the green herb.
It's a combination. I'm telling you, it's a combination. So, that's how it is. And the protozoans, it takes such a long time to figure it out that the first way to fuck you up is to give you some kind of protozoa and not tell you about it, but tell you it's going to be out there, but you're thinking it's a virus, but it's a protozoa, and you're even antiviral things like
what the hell happened to like Ebola,
Paldarco. In fact, any of these like cures for viruses like elderberry. There's echinacea. They will not cure your. They can cure a virus, but it won't cure protozoa.
I've seen actual zombies, and they're in Africa. And there was a video that I saw that was shared by Clyde Lewis. He shared a video of these Nigerians. There was about 40 of them in a group, and they were all snapping their heads back and forth in a rapid motion, and wiggling around. It had no
they probably drugged them.
They had like no life in their eyes.
It could have been a fake video too.
It didn't look so fake. These guys look like zombies. And if you play the Resident Evil video games, like Resident Evil 5, they go to like Africa or something, don't they? Right? Ruckus? Don't they go to Africa in one of the games?
That one was different.
With
Chris,
they
were like running fast.
Yeah, and there are different symptoms.
And that was the predictive programming for Ebola, that video game.
Supposedly, there was a lot of weird shit there.
What did they say Ebola was? I mean, what did they say? Is it a virus? Because they never said anything else about it, and it's some bullshit. They can write up any reports they want, Ruckus. Believe me, I read through actual things that are cures, and the scientists will purposefully gloss over it. They might mention it, and they'll say, "Oh, but there's no substantial evidence that this will cure anything." Like, for example, right now I could tell you anybody that you ever hear about that's ever addicted to any kind of narcotic or has been, unfortunately dosed by accident. That means, Oxycontin, heroin, methadone, all that shit, all that stuff. So there are two things that you could get that will give you no withdrawals at all and will totally make you better in 3 days. It will totally withdraw you, and you won't feel you'll feel a little nauseous, but not like, because I was somehow dosed. Anyway, I know this works, but Boldo tea and Powdarco. You take Powdarco in capsules.
What about Campbell's and Sprite? Does that work?
If you take 3 times a day, Powdarco in a capsule, you can get it at like Vitamin Shop or some shit, and then take a tea, Boldo tea, that you have to order online or get it at like a Latino herb place.
That's right, one of my people's places.
No,
hey,
not yours.
Hold up, Ruckus. You know what I saw in this old Sprite commercial that had Kobe Bryant. In the end, there's this big like explosion. It pretty much says, "Oh, if I was a security guard or a farmer or everything you losers are, you wouldn't listen to me. But I'm a basketball player, so you buy this fucking soda." And then they show him like in a kitchen with like a bunch of illegals like in the back of a kitchen. Then there's this giant explosion. So that's just more predictive programming. Have you seen the cartoon where Kobe like explodes in like Comedy Central? Did you get to see that?
Yeah, I've seen both of those items now since the last time we talked. Yeah, I saw a full breakdown of the Comedy Central thing and what that whole cartoon was about. And I thought that whole episode is very interesting. There's a lot more to it than just the helicopter.
Wow.
So that deserves a full analysis right there. But in the Sprite commercial, I had not seen until I saw it on your Facebook feed.
That's right. Look, if you believe the whole Kobe thing, then you probably believe that the freaking Challenger shuttle was real. Wait,
time out.
The big fat hoax.
Connection to the shuttle Challenger disaster. I am from New Hampshire, and when I was a child, I knew Krista McAuliffe when I was a kid.
What?
Because she was a student teacher. Before she was a teacher, she was like a student teacher, and the high school that she was a student teacher at was in my hometown of Pittsfield, New Hampshire.
Well, I say that because they have all these people that said they died. There's the latest conspiracy.
Right, no, I know what you're talking about. I know. But Krista McAuliffe, I know for a fact that she was a real person and that she really didn't come back. And so whether or not she really died or they had to get... But like, everyone in her world and her life, her friends, her family, mom, dad, everybody, as far as they were concerned, she was dead. So I can't see how personally on like unless you're groomed in part of these secret societies, I don't know how they would convince some random...
they killed her.
They fake deaths all the time.
But who else was a student teacher? Epstein. So, I mean,
and
these are agents, so there's a lot of agents around, and you don't know about her family or it's like some fucking military people. So everybody could play along, there's a lot of crisis actors. And it's, is she the one that, how many women died on that?
No, she was the first woman to go on that kind of a flight.
You know what? It's pretty much suicide because anything that's a shuttle or a rocket ship is not going anywhere except the Bermuda Triangle, and that's where they shoot all. They're just a bunch of nukes, and you know what? There are a bunch of geoengineering, barium, and aluminum spraying operations. Because when you see how much of this crap, whenever they do one of these freaking NASA launches, or that terrorist, Elon Musk, he's a terrorist. He's got nukes. He shows them to you. But you know what? He's a joker because all that CGI.
Bullshit.
Anyway, it's all a bunch of CGI. But what do you think of the Mandela effect and the Berenstain Bears? Is that cover of New Neighbors racist with the pandas? They you know what I'm saying? I love that freaking cover, man. I'm telling you, they're gonna need meme control for the memes that are coming out.
I love me a good meme, and so I must say that some of the best memes I've ever seen have certainly happened in the last year or so.
Or how about the Kobe Bryant memes? Like all these funny death memes. Like this Kobe beef is so burnt that it looks like a helicopter crash, right? Or they got him being shot by not like a 3-pointer, man. Like this lady's shooting a baby out of her hands. It's like the helicopter shooting a 3-pointer. I mean, these memes are hilarious. The government literally wants war against memes. And it's probably because the only way to cope with this coronavirus and all this World War III, people are making fun of it. They're making all these great memes, and it's just us to see them.
We go together and come up with delicate challenge for the coronavirus. So we just have the whole family, and we show what the coronavirus look like on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and what is it, Tinder or something?
Oh, man. Isn't that where a bunch of deviants that watch porn go on their Tinder, or the gays go on Grindr or whatever, and then the lesbians got lesboscissorrub.com or whatever? Right? I don't know. I don't go on those websites. So Ruckus, we're getting to the end of the show here, and once again, you are the only caller not to be a puss, because all the other callers are a bunch of trolls. So that's what they are, man. So I picked you.
Check your caller ID, man. I tried to call the first time, and it just straight up went to a messenger.
That's because I saw you were calling, and I ignored it. I said, I'm going to ignore this guy.
He's only kidding. That's probably what happened.
I was probably on air, but talking up a storm. But thanks for calling once again, Ruckus. Anytime you want to call in, anytime with breaking news, the phone lines are always open, and they're primarily open for you. And let me know when you do the Daily Ruckus so that we can air it here on Montalvo Broadcasting Network.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I got to make some solid plans about that for sure. We'll get together on some messaging app or something. Cool.
You got it, bro. Do it. All right. I'll talk to you soon, Ruck. Thanks for calling in.
All right. Hey, you guys rock. You have a great rest of your show and rest of your night. Jaja, nice to hear from you again. You guys have a good one.
Yeah, you too.
See ya, brother.
Peace.
That is Ruckus calling in. Ruckus, he good friend of the Bruce Montalvo show, longtime broadcaster, buddy of mine. And he's going to be airing his Daily Ruckus here on the network. So, Jaja, you don't buy this coronavirus crap. You didn't play Resident Evil enough. And
I think
pretty much we both don't buy it until we start seeing Chinamen eating people. Literally, me eat you like I eat pork.
Okay, you get I see a lot of articles. I see a few fake photos. Bruce already said, why isn't there no blood anywhere? These people falling flat on their heads and there's no blood. It doesn't even make any sense. So they can control their media with a few pictures, and you're going to believe everything just because they write some articles? Fuck that.
Fuck that. And fuck Winnie the Pooh in China. That's right. The Marxists, all the Marxist bastards out here that bitch about Donald Trump being a Nazi. You don't know a damn thing about Nazis. You don't know anything about Nazis. You don't know who Goebbels is. You don't know who Himmler is. You're all a bunch of dum-dums because of the fluoride, and now... if it's real, they're going to be a bunch of real zombies.
They think those people died. They think Himmler really died. Those pictures, Himmler and Goebbels, their family, they're all sitting there.
They're the masters of faking some papers.
There's a
faking
picture of them with their arms crossed, laughing, pretending to be dead.
The Nazis won the war, and the Nazis and the Chinese were experts in biowarfare. So anytime you see war and biowarfare, it's them and it's the Jesuits, and... if it's real, we're all going to die. And if it's anything like Resident Evil, you better freaking play that game and learn what's going on and survive, because you know, you're not a millionaire. You're not going to have a $1 billion bunker to run into. You're going to be out here fighting the freaking zombies. So stack all your bullets, get your freaking storable freaking foods, and buy my book, The Language of Symbols, so you can see all the freaking symbols that they're throwing at us. All right,
Maybe I'll write a herb book one day.
You need to write that herb book. It would be amazing. I encourage you to write this amazing book that you just mentioned here. But we're on every Monday, 8 p.m. Mountain Time, Fridays, 6 p.m. Mountain Time. You've been listening to the Bruce Montalvo Show, and I am out of here. Sayonara.